So, hello guys, welcome to this fresh series of Mentoring Mantra by Vision CA. In Mentoring Mantra, we have conversations with our esteemed mentors who cater selfless services to the CA community as well as helping CA students in pursuit of a CA degree. I am a host for the meeting. My name is Yash Chhatwani. I have cleared my CA intermediate both groups in the first attempt in January 21 and I've joined Grant Thornton as an article trainee in the risk advisory department. And so we have today with us Miss Priya DCosta, and so she's a recently qualified chartered accountant in the November 20 attempt, and she's working. She's joined a major e-commerce company and is working as a means she's working over there. So let's know the experience of becoming CA and everything she means every challenges she faced and achieved this goal. So let's start this. So Priya, can you give me a brief introduction of yourself?
Sure. So thank you, Yash, for this great initiative on behalf of Vision CA. So as Yash said, I am a recently qualified chartered accountant. I cleared in the November 2020 attempt. I belong to Mumbai. I'm born and brought up here. And after my 10th standard, choosing chartered accountancy was a very natural option for me because I always wanted a career that could fit into any industry. That's the reason I chose CA, and very luckily cleared it amidst the pandemic. And now, as Yash said, working with a major e-commerce company, also a member and a core team member of Vision CA, which is a place where which is a place that helped me a lot, and where I'm now giving back to the CA community.
Okay, so that's great to hear. So can you brief me about your journey after 10th from means after 10th you choose commerce and then you went for CA. So how did you all decide and means what was the initial procedure, initial steps you took?
So, like I said, after 10th, or rather during the 9th and 10th standard phase, I was looking for some career option that will fit in any industry that is required all the time. Like if there's good times in the economy or there's bad times in the economy, you require finance professionals and chartered accountants. Again, CA is a profession that offers you a variety of opportunities, right from finance to investment banking, management consulting, to working in startups. A CA can fit in anywhere. So that was the major reason why I chose to become a CA. And commerce was the natural stream choice for me. That's how I chose commerce after 10th. And today I cleared my 10th, I think, yeah, 7 years ago. And 7 years later, I am a CA. And whatever I thought has come true for me.
Okay, so that's so good to hear. And so when was your attempt due, like CPT when you gave?
Okay, so I gave my CPT in June 2016. My IPCC, as it was called back then, now it's called Inter, in May 2017. And my final was scheduled for May 2020, but eventually
And
happened in November 2020.
okay, sure. So means after clearing the intermediate or which you call now intermediate, previously IPCC, means how did you decide to go for a mid-size firm or a top 10 firm or why not a big four? Because your scores were quite good, so you could have got a big four or a top 10 firm quite easily. So why did you choose a mid-size firm over that?
Okay. So in my inter, actually, I missed a rank by 3 marks, something that I cried and cried for months together. But before that, I had it in mind that I will be taking up articleship in a mid-sized firm only and not a big four firm. The reason was I had experienced all the subjects only theoretically until inter, and I didn't know how things work practically. I wanted to see practically how everything works and then decide on what I should pursue in the future, like once I qualify. So that's the main reason why I took up articleship in a mid-sized firm, despite being having a good score that could probably land me up in a big four. And today I'm very happy of that decision because it has given me a a well-rounded exposure, which is helping me a lot in the post-qualification phase as well.
So here is the major learning tip that articleship from a Big Ten firm is not necessary for a good career. You can do articleship from a mid-sized firm and get a greater scope in future. So that's very good to hear. And after that, what important factors do you consider which should be learned in an articleship or which one should experience during articleship?
Great. So I love talking about this actually. So the first thing in articleship is one has to learn how to learn. Okay, so in articleship, it's when we enter into articleship, we are all very, very young. I was 18 years old when I started articleship. And the whole atmosphere there is very new, something that we have never ever experienced in our life. So learning how we are as a person and how we can learn that work that is being taught to us is very important. The first point. I think every new article should set some time apart to understand what are his or her own strengths and weaknesses and work upon them so that they are able to grasp that work better. To give you an example, I am very, very bad at tax. Okay, so when I got tax work in my firm, it used to take me a lot of time to understand exactly what is the work and what is my expectation out of that work. So I knew that I have this weakness in tax, and I knew that this weakness could be solved by discussing and reading their taxation law with my seniors. So because I knew this weakness and the solution to this weakness, I thought upon it and I understood this is the weakness and this is the solution. I was able to do my work better over a period of time. So this is the first thing that one has to do in articleship, is to understand oneself and to understand how they learn. Second thing to do in articleship is to network heavily. By networking, what do we mean? Is not just making contacts just for the sake of it. By networking, it is to just know a person, know their work, so that somewhere in future you may need them, you may not need them, but the learnings that that person has taken in their life, you can apply it somewhere else. Give you another example of this. uh, in an articleship, nobody's articleship is going to be same. Your articleship will be very different from mine. But if you network with people who are doing articleship, maybe in your classes, maybe in your friend circle, maybe in the same firm itself, you can transfer that knowledge between yourselves and apply it somewhere else. So, in this way, I used to gain knowledge from my peers in the same firm regarding work that they had not done. And in this way, I got good insights into how GST work functions, because I was not completely into GST, but I had a very close friend who used to do a lot of GST work. So that way, I understood how GST is done better, and that helped me finally in applying that knowledge better in my CA final papers.
Okay,
Second
so
point.
sorry to interrupt, but I would like to ask you, since your attempt was due in May 2017, so you might not have read GST, or was it there in your syllabus?
Okay, so GST was not there in my inter syllabus, but it definitely came in my final syllabus. And that way, this experience helped me a lot.
Okay, sure. So
And
continue.
the third, yeah, and the third experience that I would like to share is that be open to making a lot of mistakes and accept it and work upon it. So if you make a mistake, accept it and ask your senior or ask your principal how to work upon that better and not to commit that mistake same time. You are bound to have make mistakes, so there's no shying away from it. And the fourth learning I would like to say is correlate theory and practical. So many of us, we often like to crib that articleship. They make us work for long hours. We get a very low stipend, etc., etc. But if you actually put your heart and soul into it and understand that work practically, trust me, it's going to help you a lot in your CA final. My own example: some parts of GST and complete financial reporting and my elective, that is the GFRS paper, were done because of good articleship experience, and I got really good marks in them as well. So these are my four takeaways for students doing articleship.
Okay, so that would be a great learning for the persons who have started their articleship, including me. So thanks for the
Great.
insights. And so now coming to the studies part. So what was the biggest difference you noticed between the coaching and means self study for CA finals? Means is there any
Nice.
difference?
Great. So, see, coaching, I think it will help you to accelerate your learning a little bit. Suppose there's a XYZ topic, studying it by yourself may probably take you 6 hours. Whereas if you go to the coaching, you'll get it, you may understand it in 2 hours. Again, I'm saying you may understand it, not necessarily that if you go to coaching, you understand everything. Second good aspect about coaching for me personally was that in CA final, many topics are interrelated. And if you go to do self-study, probably by the time you reach the a topic at the end, you may not remember that, okay, this is interrelated with that thing that I've studied earlier, which coachings do very easily for us. So coachings make your life easier if you take it in the right way. Now, what do I mean by taking it in the right way? Ultimately, in the exam hall, you have to write your paper. No coaching class, professor, or no friend, nobody is going to come and write it for you. You have to study, you have to write it. So that's why taking coaching as a help to maybe fasten or smoothen up your understanding is okay. It will form 20% of your entire studies. The remaining 80%, that is, self-study, writing practice, multiple revisions, especially for theory subjects, is something that only and only you can help yourself. So I always like to consider it as a 20-80 ratio, 20% reliance on coachings and 80% self-study.
Okay, so and what about the test papers? Means you wrote any test papers before the
Yes.
exams?
Yes, so my attempt was in May 20, as I said, and it got delayed to November 20. So I had a lot of time in hand to write test papers. I did write many test papers. Some were evaluated by professors from different coaching institutes. Some I self evaluated and then made a list of all the mistakes that I had committed so that I don't repeat those mistakes in the final exams.
Okay, so that would be very helpful for the students who are recently going to appear for CA final or maybe appearing within 2 to 3 years. And so this was the basic questions. And what were the preparation strategies during the last 6 months or the means which you called the preparation leave PL period? So what was the strategy adopted by you? And the most common question, how many hours did you study?
Okay. So how many hours did I study? I had recently put up a LinkedIn post on this that never measure your outcome in hours. Always measure it in terms of target. So suppose I say today, the 19th of June, I want to study director's chapter of company. It may take you 10 hours, it may take me 12 hours. We are both different and we have to accept that. But at the end of the day, the target is to complete director's chapter. So I always kept targets for myself that okay, by this week I want to complete this topic. For that, maybe I have to put in X number of hours or Y number of hours. I don't care, the topic has to get finished. So I cannot give you a specific number of time that I put in every day. Coming to the preparation strategy for the leave period, again, I didn't do anything out of the box. Just I'm a person who requires multiple revisions of everything. Only then I feel confident that okay, I can go to the exam hall. So that's what I did, multiple revisions of everything and a lot of focus given to the institute's material because ultimately the ICI has that only one book. Only the module or the material that they give you is the only book that they have to refer. So why not study from it only? And other than this, a good plan for the 1.5 days before the exam so that at that time I'm able to comprehensively cover the syllabus and revise everything before I go for a paper. These were broadly the three things that I followed, but the difference is that following it and knowing about it makes all the difference. So you may know hundreds of things, but until and unless you follow it, you are not going to get the results.
So that was, and coming to my next question, how was your life after clearing the CA finals? And mostly, how was the reaction of your parents or your relatives when you cleared, means the day when the result came?
Okay. So the day the result came, of course, everybody was really happy. I, for one, very ironically, was quite upset because I had expected to get higher marks, but I didn't get the marks that I wanted. I wanted a rank. Honestly, let me be honest in that I wanted a rank, but I didn't get that, and that's why I was quite dejected for the next couple of weeks or so. Thinking about how things will pan out in future because I don't have I don't have a big four background. I don't have a rank. How will things pan out in future? This was my main concern. My family, friends, on the other hand, were overjoyed, of course, that one, because I passed CA, and secondly, because I passed it during such trying times of the pandemic. Going to the exam or writing it with a mask, etc., was a big task in itself. So passing that time was something that gave them all a lot of joy.
Okay, so the Facebook name changed and the Insta name changed from Priya
No, no,
DCosta to
no,
CA Priya DCosta. Okay,
no,
so I
no,
asked you
definitely not.
because most of the people do that, so therefore I asked you.
No, no, no. So, of course, to each his own. You can put your name however you want, but I like to keep CA again a part of my life. So, my name is my only identity, and I don't like to put anything else before my name. So, that's
Okay,
why nothing changed.
that's very humble of you.
Thank you.
Okay, so okay, now coming to the most anticipated question: how did you realize that you should pursue a career in industry and not a big four firm? Means what were the reasons you chose to do this?
Okay. So during my time, during my articleship, I got to work on a variety of assignments, like taxation related assignments. I did a first time India's implementation for one of my clients, something that's very once off. Got to work on a due diligence project. So I did a variety of assignments, and I realized that I like working in a variety of assignments. More importantly, what I realized is that I like understanding businesses, how businesses function. And the third thing that I realized about myself is that though I'm a chartered accountant, I really like technology, like anything and everything about technology, whether it's now uh, exploring some latest apps in the market or learning coding or learning about artificial intelligence, reading such kind of news. I enjoy it. These were the three things I realized about myself. Now, if I would have to go to a big four, probably I would be into one line of work, maybe auditing or maybe taxation or maybe due diligence or something which I did not find that exciting. And this opportunity that came to me when I sat for the campus placements, like every new CA does it for the campus placements. It was quite exciting because it gave me an opportunity to try out various roles in an e-commerce company. So I was getting a variety of exposure and I was getting to know about a business that is based and built on technology. Again, technology is something that I love. So that's how I decided that yes, our industry is for me, and big four, pursuing a career in a big four is not for me.
Okay, so here's my next question: that how was your experience during the campus placements, and means what were the processes followed by the companies? Normal procedures means you could not be specific about it. So normal procedures that the company follow. How was your experience
Yeah.
about that?
Great. So the campus placement experience was good. I was very lucky enough to get shortlisted by this company and then ultimately converted. But rule that this will happen this time. Every attempt, the companies change, the kind of roles offered change. So you cannot ever predict what's going to happen in campus. But one thing is true that in campus, you have to really be very good on your, or just overall, I'll say be very good with your communication skills and your presentation skills to ultimately convert an interview opportunity into a job role. That's my only takeaway from campus that I can share you.
So that's very good. And what is the importance of extracurricular activities in the life of a CA student or a CA aspirant?
Great. So I right from the time I was in school, I was more outside the class and less inside the class, because not because I was punished or anything, but because of participation in extracurricular. So that continued while I was a CA. Obviously, I couldn't give as much as time as I would earlier, but I did make it a point to participate in things like elocutions, debates, or just contributing towards various student journals, etc. Now, what is the importance of these in the life of a CA student? First of all, we are balancing a lot of things. We are balancing college, we are balancing articleship, we are balancing CA final studies, and we are balancing our personal lives. From that, we do need some time where we can relax and vent out all that anger or frustration that we usually have. That's why having a hobby or an extracurricular, be it any sport, music, or just part of an NGO, public speaking, whatever, is very necessary so that you have holistic development and so that you are mentally happy. First importance. Second is ultimately, once you qualify, everybody is going to be a chartered accountant who's applying for a job. What is the differentiating factor? The differentiating factor are things like these on your CV, like your extracurriculars where you have won some awards, or some NGO where you have volunteered. They are going to tell the potential recruiter that this person is able to manage work and his hobbies, and that's the kind of people recruiters are looking for. Because if you're just going to be work, even a computer can do that. A real person who is uh, a real employee that they expect to think and give value to the company has to be a well-rounded person. And third thing, very important for CA students, is when you participate in any extracurricular activities, you get an opportunity to network with people. So I've heard this a lot from CA students that our course is long distance correspondence. We don't have a campus where we go every day. We meet our friends. We have clubs and societies, and where we carry out a variety of activities. That's why participating in extracurricular activities organized by various organizations, maybe it can be ICI branches or organizations like Bombay Chartered Accountant Society, is of great importance, because they'll give you that platform where you can come forth with your skills. And then ultimately the communication and people skills. So if you have 1 or 2% of less technical knowledge, it's okay. If you don't know a certain section of income tax, you can go and refer it. But if you are bad at managing people, if you are bad at communicating whatever thoughts are in your head to people, uh, you are going to take time to build those up, and you can't go and build those up when you are applying for a job. So that's why having extracurriculars or being a part of extracurriculars to polish your personality is very, very important for all CS students. I always advocate on this a lot.
This brings me up to a question that pursuing a CA with a regular BCom college is better or a correspondence course is better, like that of IGNO or something.
Okay. So again, I have done regular BCom. But again, this is very specific to your situations. So I know that some people may not live in a place where they can have a good college which allows them to do articleship alongside college. Some people may not be in a city where there are top colleges, and they may be forced to do it through external mode. So it's a very person specific thing ultimately. But if you get a chance to go to a good college, please don't miss it, because it will, of course, add value to your CV and groom your personality very, very well, with things like leadership, management, people skills, communication skills, which are ultimately going to, you know, give you that boost that you need in your career lifelong. So if you get a chance, of course, I'll prefer regular college over correspondence any day. But if there are certain situations because of which you cannot do it, don't worry. Try to make up for it by participating in various activities that the ICI and other CA organizations give you, so that you don't miss out on that personality growth.
Okay, now how has the life changed after you started mentoring for Vision CA? Means any difference in approach or attitude?
Nice, very nice question. So I'll start from some time ago here. So once I qualified as a CA, I had very little guidance about how I should go further. You know that I have the degree now, but then where should I apply? How should I apply? How should my CV be, etc. And that's where Vision CA mentors helped me a lot. Even though I was a mentor, I was a mentee as well. Uh, and in this process, I got to know many people here in Vision CA and gradually got involved in a lot of activities that Vision CA does. This gave me, of course, first of all, many new friends who are like minded like me and with whom I can share thoughts, exchange thoughts about what's happening generally at work or in the profession. And it gave me access to transfer whatever knowledge I had accumulated over my journey. By knowledge, I don't mean the academic knowledge, but the mistakes that I had committed and rectified, or the advices that I would like to give my younger self. It gave me a platform to give these to juniors. And that's why post joining Vision C, of course, my life has been very good. There have been times, okay, that I have had a lot of work pressure, may have not been able to commit that much time to this cause, but ultimately it has been an amazing journey with Vision CA for the last 5 months now.
That's very cool. And thanks for a valuable time and sharing with us such a beautiful journey of yours. We hope it will benefit many students who are willing to pursue CA and who are pursuing CA, including me. At last, so any major tip or takeaway you would advise to the students which they shouldn't commit, like some kind of mistakes which the students normally make? Would you like to give that?
Sure. So I would like to tell all the CS students, especially the ones in articleship, that give yourself some time. So if you are new in articleship, don't start worrying that I don't know anything, I am very dumb, etc. etc. Give yourself 2 to 3 months of time. All the pieces will come together gradually. So in a nutshell, don't hurry. Don't hurry. There are 3 years. 3 years are more than enough to learn whatever your firm is teaching you. Secondly, build up on skills that are equally, if not more important than technical skills, like your soft skills. I keep on emphasizing on this. Even in this interview, I am that management for your interpersonal skills, communication skills are very important. So grab each opportunity that you get to develop this. If there's a presentation and your partner says who will do it, who will present, volunteer. Present, you'll get an opportunity to learn something at least. Uh, and ultimately, don't shy away from helping others, because if you help others today, someday or the other you'll get that back when you need it the most. So never shy away from helping others. And the last advice I would like to give is, if you have any hobby or interest in any field other than CA also, like I love technology a lot, don't ignore it. Somewhere or the other down the lane, it will be very useful to you. So I'll give my own example. Even now, as I work, I always wish that I knew to code, that I should have known to code better, code a computer better, because it would have helped me in my work today. So if you have certain liking for certain subject, like say psychology or tech or anything, follow that as well. If you like it enough, you'll make time, you'll find time for it. Don't let your hobbies or your passions just go out because you're doing CA. Ultimately, that will be the differentiator between you and others. when you all are all out in the job or in the business world. And last but not the least, keep on learning, keep on growing, because the day you stop learning, I think your old age begins. That's it from me.
Okay.
And yeah, thank you very much, Yash, for this hosting this podcast.
Thank you, Priya, for sharing the valuable experience and helping most of the CA aspirants. So that's all, and hope we will connect. Hope I will connect with you once more regarding some other issues the students mostly face. So thanks.
Pleasure is all mine. Thank you.